Hello. Good afternoon, troopers. Hope you're all doing well. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, troopers. So today we're going to be going through the update patch notes and everything like that. It's a big, long one, so we're going to be here for at least probably an hour or something. You guys know the drill right now. I'm not going to read it because my dyslexic ass, but we will do the speech to text, so it's just easier. So especially if there's stuff I miss, or any of you guys as well. So we're going to be doing the speech to text for it as well. I don't think I'm going to be playing any games today. I think we're just going to be going just through the update. I just started a new medication, so it's made me feel really tired. I like completely passed out, man, through the night. I slept all the way through it without waking up once, and I woke up and I still feel really tired. So that kind of sucks. So I obviously don't want to waste the day, so I really want to make the most of it, but I really need to stay active to keep myself awake and everything like that. And as well, I'm gonna be up like I'm gonna be waking up like 4 in the morning anyway for the update, so it means I'm gonna be waking up ridiculous anyway. So all the meds, man, I'm taking is just completely messing up because I have to wake up super early. So yeah, I just need to really make sure I start moving. I'm very tired and exhausted today, so it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's new medication, so it's just hitting me very hard. If you're curious what it is, it's literally I'm just on medication where it's supposed to help out my legs. So the problem is, what I'm going through is pretty much I have like a rest restoring or whatever it is. I don't know. It just means I kick a lot and I move a lot in my sleep, and because of that I wake up with a lot of pains, and sometimes it's tough to walk. I actually have like some sort of limp sometimes. I'm 25, man, so I shouldn't be going through all this, you know what I mean, but it's a common thing. So I've been taking medication to kind of just relax my body a lot more, and helps me sleep and everything like that. So because I took the meds the first time, it's supposed to last up to 6 hours, but because this was my first time taking it, it's lasted way more longer, so I feel very tired. So it kind of sucks, but it's fine. But anyway, we're going to get into the patch notes. We're going to go through it with a speech to text and everything like that. I'm going to pause it here and there so we can have a little discussion. If you're watching this as a video, this is it. This is the patch notes. So this is the best place to be because I'm using speech to text, so I shouldn't miss anything at all. We can also discuss it as well. So if you're watching this as a video, make sure to comment and everything like that in the comment section about what you think about all this. I will be doing a review anyway, so after the update comes out, I will be making a video on a review, explaining how the update is. There is a huge update. There is actually 400 fixes in this update, so it's pretty mad, and majority of it's going to be fixed. So let's get into it, and hopefully there's some fixes what you guys were hoping for to see. So yeah, let's crack into it. All right, so let's go and start this here. All right, here we go.
Update number 4 will be available on April the 19th. This update brings Voip functionality for party and squads, a change to end of round that displays the scoreboard, as well as an overhaul of weapon attachments. It also includes many further changes and bug fixes detailed in full below, such as balance adjustments to specialists such as updated traits for Rowan Pike, and improvements to Sundancer's specialty, with a focus on their anti-armor grenades being more effective against targets in their immediate vicinity. Vehicle balance changes such as making the M5C bolts passengers.
Okay, so just to point this out, so the Sundance, the issue what people's going through, and most of you guys will experience this anyway, is when you see like a bolt or a tank, you have your anti-armor, you want to chuck at that tank and it goes forward and then yeets straight up in the air, and it really focuses on choppers more than anything. And that kind of made sense because when they put out the trailer showing off Sundance the first time, it was always focused on choppers and helicopters and everything like that, and it's never really focused on ground vehicles, considering how close you was to it as well. So the fact is they're improving the target and everything like that, and it makes sense, man. Like, it was a pretty bad bug, So that makes sense. So you can actually see a vehicle now, chuck it, and it actually will hit it. So that's going to be a lot more better. So if you play Sundance, you could be a bit more destructive against air vehicles and ground vehicles.
Vehicle balance changes such as making the M5C Bolt's passengers easier to target, and a reduction in power for its missile launcher. Fixes for being unable to ads after exiting a vehicle, or being unable to revive players near objects.
Big dub.
Improved ribbons and XP events to make them easier to unlock across modes. We'd like to thank you for your patience while we've worked to get this update into your hands, and we're looking forward to your continued feedback once you've been able to hop in and play. Our next update following this one is presently scheduled to release in May, and is focused on bringing further quality of life updates and bug fixes. We'll have more to tell you about the contents of that update closer to its release. We'll continue to keep you informed on the rollout of update number 4 via the @BattlefieldCom Twitter account. You can also follow along with our tracking of known issues and game changes that we're able to make in real time on our Battlefield forums. Thank you. The Battlefield team. Update 0.4.0. Fixes, changes, and improvements.
Here we go.
Voip is now available in Battlefield 2042.
Nice.
There are 2 voice chat channels to choose between, party and squad. Settings for Voip can be adjusted via options and sound, voice and chat while in-game. Scoreboard. In Update 3.3 we released the IA refresh for the scoreboard. Following this update, this IA refresh will now also be available during the end of round screens. Weapon attachments. With Update 4.0 we've overhauled the behavior of many weapon attachments to ensure that their impact when customizing your weapons is unique and noticeable. Previously, some attachments had effects that were too similar from others, and it was unclear what the impact on your weapons would be when switching between them. We encourage you to experiment with the refreshed weapon attachments to see how they feel after the update, and you'll be able to read the full set of changes further down the page.
So this image here, what they're talking about with the attachments and everything like that is basically exactly what I just said here. It's going to decrease the ADS speed. So certain sites, they probably have a bit more recall, maybe less recall, obviously ADS speed as well. So it's basically using certain attachments is going to change the weapon completely, the way how it flows and stuff like that. Really, the meta out of anything is everyone uses dot sight. No one really uses these hybrid sights or anything like that. It's really, really rare. And considering now they just put out this hybrid sight was going to decrease the speed by 4.0 in ADS speed sight. It literally says it here. You know what I mean? It's once again, it's a site what someone's never going to use. And really, I haven't seen anyone really use these type of sites as it is. So the fact is they're decreasing the ADS speed on them. It's just going to be, once again, the meta of dot sight. I guarantee you.
We encourage you to experiment with the refreshed weapon attachments to see how they feel after the update, and you'll be able to read the full set of changes further down the page. General. Made several improvements to kill assists. Damage assists trigger from a lower damage threshold, improving consistency and clarity. EMP grenades now trigger assists more reliably. Assists can now trigger when a teammate kills an enemy and either of them were covered in smoke you deployed. Fixed EMP effects persisting on screen. Fixed a bug where equipping a weapon attachment from the item reveal menu would in some scenarios reset the full customization on that weapon back to defaults.
Yep.
Fixed a bug where the player's saved customization would sometimes be reset to defaults after joining a server.
Yep,
Simplified keybinds for chat and Voip. Switch weapon for gunner can now be properly bound in key bindings. Airplane and helicopter sensitivity settings added to the options menu. Matchmaking and damp. Social. Fixed a matchmaking error that could occur after quitting a hazard zone server. Matchmaking information is now visible in the player card screen. fixed a bug where a user encounters a matchmaking loop and gets sent back to the lobby.
Yep.
Disbanding a party before joining it no longer incorrectly shows the remove "Oh friend" prompt. Progression and unlocks. Adjusted ribbons to make them easier to unlock across all modes, especially in Rush. Further adjustments to specific ribbons. Logistics. Progress earned from repairing friendly vehicles has been increased, and progress earned from healing and resupplying has been reduced. Objective. Kills or assists while fighting for objectives in Breakthrough now also give progress. Intel. Progress for hitting enemy vehicles with EMPs has been doubled. Combat. Destroying an enemy range now rewards ribbon progress. Combat and Damp. Wingman. Kills and assists on enemy players in Hazard Zone now give increased progress. Mastery for the Me 240 Super Hind, MV38 Condor, and Maeve now gets progress as intended when teammates spawn in on your vehicle. Cosmetics and weapon attachments are now correctly marked as new when unlocked. XP from support actions has been increased, while XP from objective actions has been decreased to compensate. Projectile destroyed, with Irish Apps 36 shoot down Sentinel, from 5 and 10 XP. Enemy disrupted with IMP, from 10 and 20 XP. Equipment destroyed, from 5 and 10 XP.
Healing's good.
From 5 and
I'm happy with sealing.
20 XP. Resupply, from 5 and 20 XP.
That's good.
Repairing, from 5 and 20 XP. Ranger destroyed, from 25 and...
I just want to point out, by the way, the Ranger, right? Do you know how hard that is to kill a Ranger, troopers? Like, literally, sometimes you have to put a whole magazine into a Ranger, and sometimes that's still not enough to destroy a Ranger. It still isn't. And then when you finally do, you get 25 XP, destroy it. It's more difficult to destroy a Ranger than I feel like it is to try to take a chopper out in the air. And they just increase it 75. In my opinion, that should be a full kill. Actually, not even that, because a Ranger is so difficult to destroy, and they're really rare as well. Like I was saying, that there's not like 20 million of them. You know what I mean? It's not compared to like a sentry gun. So you usually see like 2 to 3 or something in the field. So it'd be nice to have 200 XP for them, because it's how difficult it is to destroy them, because they got so much HP.
Repairing, from 5 and 20 XP. Ranger destroyed, from 25 and 75 XP. Objective neutralized, from 250 and 200 XP. Objective captured, from 375 and 200 XP.
Oh,
Sector objective defended, from 15 and 10 XP. Added an XP event for killing a downed enemy in Hazard Zone.
Wait, so they're reducing the XP by capturing a flag? Why are they reducing the XP on capping a flag? Well, that's destroying PTFO, isn't it? Man, no, you shouldn't reduce the XP from capping a flag. That makes no sense, man. Like, objective captured from 375 XP to 200. Why do you want to punish people from capping a flag? Like, no, because some people some people who played at Battlefield, they focus strictly on objectives, and they can rank up just the same as you, because that's what you want to do. Every playstyle needs to have the same level of XP. So if you're a guy who runs and guns all the time and doesn't focus on a flag but gets loads of kills, you'll get the same amount of XP as someone's just focusing, picking up people or resupplying and camping a flag. They get about the same amount of XP with you. So it's a balanced whatever playstyle. So the fact is they're reducing the capture and the flag and everything like that, that's just reducing that playstyle XP. So people are going to be like, I can run and gun and get more XP than me focusing on the flag. That's what you shouldn't be doing, because now there's going to be a lot of people who won't bother focusing on flags because there's less XP. So from 375 to 200, that's almost half of XP being reduced. So that's I don't like that.
Added an XP event for killing a downed enemy in hazard zone. Repairing range now correctly triggers the repairing XP event. Maps. Breakaway. Fix players or AI soldiers sometimes not spawning in the correct HQ area. Hourglass. Fixes a bug where players were still receiving damage from the tornado while inside the stadium. Kaleidoscope. Sprinklers are now active for 9, instead of 20 seconds.
Nice.
Sprinklers no longer deal damage.
Finally.
Sprinklers should no longer affect players outside the building.
Yep.
The freeze effect in the HUD is less intense.
Yes.
Fixed an issue where players could shoot through the tires of some trucks on Kaleidoscope. Orbital. Fire from the rocket explosion event is no longer invisible and will slowly dissipate. Renewal. Fixed a bug where soldiers and vehicles would be affected by the storm while inside buildings. Reduced rubber banding when key events such as the rocket launch get triggered. Bollards and ramps should no longer be triggered by deployed gadgets. Toxic barrels now continue dealing area damage if another nearby barrel gets destroyed shortly after. Fixed a bug exploit where players were able to deploy gadgets or shields that would intersect with McCombs, not allowing them to be disarmed. Fixed a bug where container doors were still presenting the interaction prompt after being destroyed. Updated destruction behavior for fences. Minor prop objects at distance now pop more slowly. Added support for traversal on objects linked to moving platforms. Enabled cover occlusion for player damage from explosions. Fixed a bug when elevator doors weren't synced for players joining later during a match. Players can now sneak and open doors close to them while ads. We've resolved multiple smaller issues across all maps that could negatively impact gameplay. Fixed some areas where players could get stuck. Fixed floating of items. Fixed some collision areas that caused players to fall through items on the map. Fixed areas where planes could go through terrain while out of bounds. Fixed being unable to interact with some objects. Fixed some areas where players were able to see through the map. Fixed behavior on some interactable objects such as doors. Fixed clipping of objects such as vegetation. Battlefield Portal. Made several improvements to the Portal browser. Name description is now auto-filled when creating an experience. Name description fields of preset experiences are now empty by default. Browsing experiences remembers your previous search query. Resolved instances where the browse tabs didn't function correctly when applying custom filters.
Yep.
Made adjustments to the chase camera on a number of vehicles in Battlefield Portal. Fixed an issue which could cause a game.
That's good. The camera one, what they're doing, they're fixing the camera to the vehicles. If you guys have played 1942 and used the American tank, the delay on it is pretty bad, and it has a terrible camera thing. But what about the weapon changes? We're just about getting through it. We're just on Portal right now. Welcome everyone, welcome. Sorry I'm not talking. This stream's also going to be put as a video as well, so I try not to push it too much and everything like that. So I will adjust. I will discuss everything in a bit and all that. So yeah.
Fixed an issue which could cause a game crash when players were near a Cabell wagon. Players no longer remain in a stuck trigger animation after deploying C4 and immediately jumping into a vehicle. The defibrillator can no longer be equipped while swimming. Stationary machine guns will now be destroyed alongside accompanying towers.
Good.
Added a new lines for destroying or capturing objectives. Added a new line for tower collapse event on Caspian border. The tower on Caspian border will now have improved barrage and damp projectile VFX before its collapse. Players can now switch back to their secondary weapon on an experience with all primary weapons disabled. The cycle primary weapon key binding now properly cycles to the secondary weapon if the player doesn't have a primary one. You should now always automatically have your last played loadout in the next round.
Finally. That's good, because every time I select my first class, it always keeps popping me onto my fourth class. So I spawn in and I have my different loadout and I'm like, dude, that's so annoying. And that's what I have to start off with every single time. So hopefully I can change. But I don't think that's a Portal issue. I think that's all issues. I don't think it's just Portal. So hopefully that's just adjust to everything. I think they just put it into the Portal thing.
Spawns on El Alamein have been moved to prevent becoming stuck after deploying info mode. Battle of the Bulge. The screen now changes to sepia when going out of bounds near the tank battle vista area. Numerous fixes for floating rocks and cliff faces in Valparaiso, Arica Harbor, El Alamein, and Caspian border. Bad Company 2. You can now switch back to the Mortar Strike gadget while it's recharging. You can now switch out from the Mortar Strike gadget using the inventory prev next bindings while it is recharging. Fixed an issue where weapon under barrel attachments would trigger on button press even if the weapon was not selected at the time. Russc updated MCOM screens with arming disarming progress bars and countdown timer. Audio. Fixed the wrong bow playing when giving attacking orders as dozer. Fixed issue where Falk's gadget Vo would trigger when hitting enemies. The healing sound will now always play when Falk heals herself with the S21 Sirit pistol. Nice. Adjusted wingsuit audio for Sundance so they are easier to hear for enemies.
Finally.
Added surface scrape sounds to vehicle with tracks when rotating stationary.
Yes, the vehicle audio is by far the worst. I always complain about audio, especially in 2042. I think 2042 has by far the worst audio ever. Considering that Battlefield 1 was a masterpiece of audio, it's crazy how it's just gone so backwards. But there'll be times a bolt or a tank would be right next to me and I don't even hear it. Like, I was talking about this with my friend, I think like a couple of days ago, and I was saying about how Call of Duty Mobile has better audio footsteps than 2042 does.
Added surface scrape sounds to vehicle with tracks when rotating stationary. Improved audio across amphibious vehicles. The MD-549 BID and R-64GX Apache Warchief now have the correct audio cues when air-to-ground missiles are ready to be used.
Yeah.
Destroying a gadget should no longer trigger vehicle destroyed voiceover. Improved range audio for the recon drone. Low health sound should no longer get stuck when going into a vehicle. Added audio VFX for turning on off the flashlight attachment. The proc sensor should no longer emit warning sounds if no enemies are within reach. Soldiers should no longer hear the...
Oh yeah, because the proximity nade, right, when you chucked it, it would go boom, 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 and it's supposed to only do that audio sound when it detects an enemy. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to make that noise when it finds an enemy, but it doesn't. It just goes all the time. So when the proximity nade was pretty OP at the start and you can farm XP for it, that's all you would hear all the time. It was just so annoying, and it's amazing they just fixed it. Like, I'm still pretty shocked though. Like, I'm not praising this stuff right now until I play it, but at the end of the day, I can't praise it, man. Like, we're in April, man. Like, this game come out when it was snowing, and now I'm expecting like 80 degrees weather in the weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they're just fixing some of this stuff. Ugh.
Soldiers should no longer hear the opposite ping though being triggered from a 3P view. Improved audio consistency for vehicle call-ins. Improving cockpit audio experience when driving enclosed land vehicles in first person. Tweak the vaulting sound when climbing ladders. Added audio for birds on renewal. Added audio for destroying screens in the Sinska laboratory lobby and renewal. Improved audio for damage caused by storms. Improved audio for vehicle gear shifting. Fixed an issue where rapidly pressing fire on a sniper rifle would play an audio cue as if 2 shots were fired.
Yeah, that's weird.
Improved audio for the M5C Bolt, Ibar Wildcat and MD-549 BID when they pass by players.
Finally! That's
Breakthrough.
it.
Fixed air vehicles being able to spawn at the opponent's HQ in start of the round.
Sorry, no more
Hazard
jets.
Zone. Successful missions should no longer be shown as failed. You can no longer use the redeploy calling when all players in a squad are alive. Removed placement ranking stats from end of round screen in Hazard Zone. Adjusted costs of several Hazard Zone weapons and gadgets. The roaming AI latives should no longer fail to spawn, or spawn at the wrong times. Soldiers should no longer be stuck in a markdown state. Hazard Zone end of round now shows all kills, instead of just human player kills. Hazard Zone end of round now properly shows in round instead of lifetime respawns. A collected data drive will no longer be permanently marked on the minimap. Players can no longer move their character in Hazard Zone after dying or bleeding out. Rush. Fixed issues with Rush declaring the winning team prematurely and or incorrectly. Deploying gadgets over Rush combs should no longer prevent arming it. Conquest. Adjusted spawn locations to prevent spawning out of bounds. AI soldiers. AI soldiers will no longer appear lagging while entering a vehicle. AI soldiers can now repair combat vehicles in all-out warfare. Improvements to AI soldiers operating helicopters. Improvements to AI soldiers reviving human players. Soldier. Fixed some issues where the player would be impossible to hit when entering an exposed vehicle seat. Fixed an issue where dead soldiers...
Oh my god. Yes, finally. Hallelujah. Do you know what this means, troopers? This finally means that when it comes to a bulk player, you can absolutely tear him up with a PKP and he is going to die. It was such a nightmare to kill people out of a bolt. But if they're fixing that, right, that means hopefully it should mean to choppers as well, so you can snipe them out of the air a lot more easier. Crazy thing is, I had a friend called Eddie who adjusted, who gave the feedback and showed all the footage of it, how bad it was to hit enemies through a vehicle and stuff like that. The first freaking week of the game being out, the first week. And he put a video out and he said they're going to fix it. They said they was going to work on it. And here we are. What, that was November. And here we are in April and they just put it in. Jeez, thanks, DICE. I'm so glad you're on it.
Fixed an issue where dead soldiers or friendly soldiers would block bullets. Fixed further instances of not being able to revive players when some of their body parts were clipping with assets geometry. Fixed players not being able to place deployables in certain areas. Fixed an issue where the player would not be able to jump or vault after reviving someone. Fixed an issue where players would have two hands on a rifle while sprinting on a steep slope.
Yeah,
fixed losing input when jumping on off the ladders. Fixed players appearing to fly after meleeing water. Fixed soldiers sometimes becoming invisible while downed.
Fixed players appearing to flying after melee and water. No! Oh, that sucks. So that's an old gen thing, right? You can't do that on PC. You can't do it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series S or X. You can't do it on that. But on the old gens, I had a friend who's on old gen on the Xbox One, and you can on Kaleidoscope you can keep bouncing between the waters, and it'll launch you right up to the toppest it can go. And you can just bounce backwards and forwards all the time, just keep bouncing. It was pretty sick. I don't know why they nerfed that, you know what I mean? But it's pretty sick.
Fixed players sometimes going into downed state, instead of dying if killed in an out-of-bounds area. Fixed players entering a downed state after crashing with an air vehicle. Fixed players sometimes entering a downed state while underwater. Fixed players sometimes being thrown up in the air after getting revived. Fixed an issue where redeploying your soldier could cause dropped weapons to float. Fixed an issue where it wouldn't be possible to crawl under certain obstacles while prone. Fixed an issue where the player's camera could sometimes clip through the ground or objects when prone. Fixed an issue where the soldiers could fly when dropping down from steep areas. Fixed an issue where certain camera transitions would force the player's Fov to be reset to the default Fov. Fixed an issue where...
Oh my god. finally, they're fixing the FOV issue. Holy crap. That happened a lot when it come to vehicles. It wasn't as bad when it come to just being on the ground, I think. But when it was vehicles, it reset your FOV every single time. I did experience it once, I think once or twice on actual on ground, just normally playing. And it had a stage. It was really weird because one of them, I wish I had the clip. It happened on stream, but one of them, it actually reduced my FOV live, like at that time. Like sometimes when you spawn, it reduces your FOV, but this one actually, like, cause I had 90 FOV and I felt it, and I just see it, I feel it, everything zooming in, and it was so weird. It really was, and it was basically reduced your FOV without going into the settings. It was so weird, and I kind of aimed back out, and it just flicked itself back to normal. But it was so weird. It really was.
Fixed an issue where it is possible to die when entering a vehicle right after performing a melee attack while in the air. Fov should no longer break after switching weapons on ladders.
Nice.
Improved traversal across moving objects. Updated animations for directional vaults. Soldiers will no longer die when swimming close to or under a water vehicle. Animations. Fixed an issue which would cause broken weapon animations while sprinting into world objects such as a wall. Fixed an issue where reload animations would play incorrectly. Fixed an issue.
Dude, the reload animations are so weird. I had a reload animation before where basically my my sight was gone, my front barrel was gone, and then I was reloading it and I stuck the magazine into the side of the gun and everything like that, and it was so weird. It was like two different animations at the same time. It was so weird, and the weapon just looked weird, but it was pretty funny. But it didn't really mess up the gun. I just aimed in, it just fixed itself. That's the saying, it's just animation issues.
Fixed an issue where aborting a revive caused first-person animations to break. Resolved several corrupted eye animations. Improved the preview animations of deployable objects. Improved left arm animations while crawling with a MGS 880. Improved left hand animations when using an underbarrel attachment while sprinting. Sprinting out of water while swimming no longer puts you in a stuck sliding animation. Left-hand animations should no longer break when entering and exiting vehicles. Players should no longer experience looping revive animations when downed. Gunners should no longer sometimes clip behind vehicles while driving. Made revive animations smoother.
Nice.
Switching weapons in a vehicle open seat will no longer result in a broken animation. Toned down weapon.
I don't know if you guys ever seen this on Twitter, but there was one of them where a guy was in a car and the guy was trying to shoot him and he just spammed the button, right? And there's no like animation. There's no like switching seat or just moving or like getting to the gunner. It was just flick. So the guy was trying to shoot him the whole time and he just keeps switching seat. And it was, hey, I gotta admit, it was 10 out of 10 skill, man. It was so skillful. It really was. And I loved it, every second of it. I thought it was so sick. But yeah, it makes sense for fixing it. Of course it does. Of course it does. Hey, thank you for the likes, troopers. If you haven't liked the stream, please do. We're going through the update, so hopefully there's some stuff you're looking forward to.
Tone down weapon movement during initial adds after deploy. Smoothed out the transition animations for camera and weapon movement when switching between stand crouch. Jumping into water while reloading will no longer cause a broken reload animation. You can no longer see through your hands while using the SWS-10 or DXR-1 in prone position during reload. Polished idle animations for rifles.
Oh, here we go. Specialists.
Angel. Fixed a bug where Angel's supply bag won't land when bouncing close to a vehicle. Fixed instances where Angel's supply bag didn't activate correctly. Fixed some occurrences that could cause the mesh of Angel's supply bag to copy itself onto other thrown projectiles. Irish. Made all vehicle types able to smash through Irish's deployable cover. Resolved instances where Irish's fortification system couldn't be placed on angled terrain. Fixed a bug where the ABS-36 shoot-down sentinel would not always stop targets if blocked by a soldier standing on it. Fixed an issue where players could see the ABS-36 shoot-down sentinel in an infinite firing loop at an unidentified target. Dozer. The Sub-80 ballistic shield and main weapon can no longer equipped at the same time when bashing or entering a vehicle. Doze now becomes vulnerable for a short time when the Sub-80 ballistic shield is hit by a heavy fire such as from tanks. Dying as Dozer while holding the Sub-80 ballistic shield will no longer cause you to be resurrected with the shield active. Reviving Dozer with the Sub-80 ballistic shield active no longer makes you float upwards. Repeatedly pressing the prone and Sub-80 ballistic shield buttons as Dozer will no longer result in the player having the shield up while prone.
Come on.
Performing
no
a takedown on Dozer with an active Sub-80 ballistic shield will now play the correct animation.
Yes.
Fixed a bug where repair tools caused the Sub-80 ballistic shield to deflect
Who uses
bullets.
Dozer? Come on, let's
Fixed
go.
an issue where the Sub-80 ballistic shield could bash through thin walls.
No one uses it. Let's go. Let's go.
Ro's cyber warfare suite should now feel more responsive. Resolved bugs related to using the cyber warfare suite ability without an active target. Once the cyber warfare suite ability finishes, your target is now reset. Replaced Trojan network with the threat perception trait. When Ro takes damage from enemy fire, he will automatically spot the enemy for himself. Pike. Replaced threat perception with the E-glide trait. Players damaged by Pike are now spotted for everyone. Updated Pike's mastery criteria to align with her new trait. Casper. The OkTrevor drone can now be descended with crouched toggle buttons. The rotors on the OkTrevor drone are now placed correctly. The spotting sound now plays correctly while using the OkTrevor drone. The OkTrevor drone now remembers its direction upon re-entry. Resolved wrong text displaying when OkTrevor drone. Fixed an issue that would sometimes prevent you from flying the OkTrevor drone upwards if you entered it while crouching. Boris. The SG-36 sentry gun should no longer clip outside elevators. A tank running over the SG-36 sentry gun will now destroy it. Sundance. Fixed anti-armor grenades that locked onto targets which were too far away. And
well, I just want to point this out. I'm pretty pissed off. I haven't heard of Boris sentry gun to be nerfed. Sometimes you could be parachuting and a ranger or a sentry gun will just absolutely laser you. And it's such a far range, man. They need to reduce the range and reduce the damage of the freaking thing or just yeet it out. I'm pretty disappointed they haven't changed it. I don't understand why they haven't. Makes no sense. It really doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Even with this update, as a lot of people said on Twitter, there's still, even after all these fixes, there's still not enough fixes. They didn't nerf the Ranger, they didn't nerf the sentry gun either. There's still a lot way to go. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to wait another 4 more months for you guys to fix it. I expect this to be fixed by this month or next month. So, chop chop.
Anti-armor grenades now filter by angle and distance in a more accurate way, and of the same priority for air-ground vehicles. Anti-armor grenades no longer swap targets when already tracking a target, and have reduced maximum range once unfolded and in flight.
Nice.
Anti-armor grenades now have different tracking radius for ground and air vehicles.
Nice.
Anti-armor grenades no longer target Irish as deployable cover or ABS-36 shoot-down sentry. Anti-armor grenades track properly if left sleeping on the ground now, instead of simply exploding. Improved the speed when switching through Sundance's grenade belt.
Nice.
Scatter grenade detonation timings adjusted to let them explode quicker. Landing on rough terrain no longer causes Sundance to bounce up in the air. Fixed a rare issue where Sundance's body could become detached from a vehicle upon entry while landing onto the vehicle from the wingsuit, causing Sundance to become invisible. Falk. Falk's S21 Sirit pistol can now be equipped while swimming.
Sick.
Fixed an issue in Prologue where Falk's syringe did not spawn a pickup on the ground. Reduced the distance at which the S21 Sirit pistol's dart is visible.
What?
McKay made it easier for McKay to grapple onto moving vehicles.
Sick.
Players can no longer take damage from the...
Finally, you can do the McKay stuff on moving vehicles. They had this in the beta and the alpha, and it worked pretty well. And then some reason it got removed. What made no sense, because it was pretty cool, because if you have McKay and you see like a tank, or especially a bolt was the best for it. You see a bolt, you can grab a hook onto it, and if you do it the right way and do it on the top, you can grab a hook on top of the bolt, ride in on top of the bolt, and then you just go down to the window and just kill them, and then that's it. You got yourself a bolt. It was pretty sick, man. It's a badass thing to do, but they removed it from the start. Well, it makes no sense, because in the beta it was pretty sick. Hopefully, with saying it can grab onto vehicles and I think hopefully I can like do some cool stuff against choppers. Maybe, I don't know. I'll give it a go. See if I can do like a really cool stunt or something with it.
Players can no longer take damage from the grappling hook while downed. Adjusted McKay's walk animation when aiming down sight. The sight should no longer misline with where shots are fired.
Nice.
Resolved issues where smoke stopped the grappling hook from working.
Yep.
The grappling hook crosshair should now correctly pick up objects while in range. Looking as far left-right you can while grappling while pressing a D no longer allows you to slow down or speed up. Fixed a rare occurrence where entering a vehicle after using the grappling hook could cause McKay to become invisible. HUD.
Before we go into the HUD, I just want to point out Sundance and McKay. I'm very happy with it. I am very happy with the fixes, what they've done with McKay. Because they even say as well, looking far as left and right while grappling and stuff like that. Before you couldn't really do it, but now you can like really like zoom left and right, so that's gonna be really nice. Yeah, Sundance and McKay, huge dub. Huge dub. Very happy with that. Disappointed with Boris though, very disappointed with Boris. His sentry gun needed to be nerfed. It wasn't nerfed, makes no sense. But McKay and Sundance, I'm very happy with that. That's a 10 out of 10 fix. No, I don't want to be too honest. There's probably like a 7 out of 10. Come on, I can't be that nice, can I? You know, it's a 7 out of 10 for McKay and you know, Sundance fix. But I am very happy with that too, and especially to be fixed that way. That's exactly the way I wanted it, so that's really nice. And I'm assuming everyone else wanted that as well.
HUD hints for reload. Low ammo and no ammo will now blink a few seconds and then fade out.
Thank God.
Switching weapons in these states will restart this animation.
So, okay, that's cool, because there'll be times where the reload hint stuff, it will just be on your screen the whole time. It would, and it just won't go away. And it was so annoying, man. So annoying. Especially looking for ammo. So the fact is it's going to give you like a blink symbol, then fade away. Is nice. Hopefully it doesn't bug though, because there was times when that happened where it was like saying no ammo or low ammo, and you got yourself a full magazine and it's still showing, it's still saying you got low ammo, and I'm like, dude, I got like 200 rounds, what you want about? So it doesn't say it in here, it might be further down, so hopefully that'll be a fixed thing.
Switching weapons in these states will restart this animation.
Up in here. Oh, it reset. Wow, it was such a long patch note and everything. My speech to text just basically said, hey, you need to remove stuff. Where is it? We just started on... What are we on? HUD. Hang on. It just said I reached my 20-minute limit. That's what it says. I want to do speech to text because my reading's terrible, man. So I needed to make sure my reading's better, you know. So I do it this way, so I can make sure I can capture all of the wording. You've reached the 20 minutes of delay voice thing. Are you kidding me?
HUD, added critical.
Oh, these are the free voices. I was using a premium voice.
Hi. I can read web pages or documents for you.
Hi. I can read web.
Hi. I can read web pages or.
Hi. I can read web pages or documents for you.
Yeah, we'll use
HUD,
them.
added critical and out of bounds color to world info, soldier info and soldier compass HUD widgets. HUD, centered soldier compass direction readout and added positioning arrow shape. HUD, added scaling options for the minimap/team, personal log, world log, player/vehicle info, chat and vehicle passenger list. HUD, added critical state for vehicles. Added new options that allow players to scale the transparency of many different icons in the HUD, friendly icons, squad member icons, enemy icons, revive icons, objective icons and ping marker icons. Each icon type can have a different transparency when zoomed or not zoomed. The option can be found under Display HUD icons. Added a chat log visibility option to allow players to set the default visibility mode of the chat log, which allows it to be turned off on console where no key bindings exists to change visibility. In-game. Adjusted scaling of objective icons over distance, they will now start scaling at 50 m and stop scaling at 500 m instead. Solved an issue where friendly icons were too enlarged. The need healing icon is no longer visible over friendlies while playing as Angel without a medical crate. The grenade indicator no longer remains after the grenade has already exploded. The kill card should now always update after being killed by AI soldiers shortly after self-healing. SG-36 sentry gun and OVP recon drone are now shown/hidden depending on gadget availability. Fixed a bug where the minimap didn't update when entering an air vehicle from the ground. Fixed a problem that caused hints to disappear on initial deploy into vehicles. Made animations for the plus menu smoother.
Nice.
Added 24 new options to control the opacity and size of HUD icons.
Wait!
Added missing always traversal sprint option under controller tab.
Wait.
Gadgets.
Wait.
Dot.
Okay, so added 24 new options to control the opacity and size of HUD. Yes! Holy crap, that's huge, man. That's huge. Please don't fuck this up. Sorry about my French. Please don't screw this up, dude. Battlefield 1 had by far some of the sick HUD options, man. You can minimize it, you can make it teeny small, and everything like that. It was so good. You can reduce it as well, and you can just make the HUD just look so clean without it being cluttered. It looks so good for like montages. It looks great for streaming as well, because as a streamer, you have all these HUD stuff and everything like that. Like I've just added my new one right up here. So use code PWA for 25% off. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you have all these little things for streaming in general. So it kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks. So the fact is you're going to have that option to customize it. Yes. That's good. Why that was not at the top, I don't know. Because this is huge. This is huge. Like I'm telling you, man, this is absolutely huge. So yeah, when it comes out, please give it a go. Give it a go, man. Battlefield 1 had some great ones of it. So yeah. Obviously, considering that how many people keep saying Battlefield 5, play Battlefield 5, you clearly missed out on Battlefield 1. So you'll never experienced this before, because Battlefield 5 never had it. So for all the new people, you should be excited about this.
Gadgets. Fixed an issue that prevented equipping of the EBOT armor plate if you were being healed at the same time. Using the EBOT armor plate no longer causes the plate to flicker and reappear on screen after use. Fixed a bug where players were able to deploy items to clip ladders and ziplines which could block passage. Improved the positioning of the preview of deployed objects to better reflect the surface the player is trying to place it on, instead of hovering in the air. Gadgets should no longer be destroyed if a door opens or closes close to them. Fixed an issue where gadgets resupplied via the loadout crate caused the player to not be able to redeploy their chosen gadget later on during that life. EMP effect from grenades no longer extend past their visual explosion radius. Fixed an issue that allowed players to drop ammo and medical crates through thin walls. CG recoilless M5/RPG/SMAW will now one-shot Ranger if it's a direct hit.
Yes! Yes! Finally. Holy crap, man. You know, I was talking about this literally like 20 minutes ago. I was like saying, like, do you know how deadly a Ranger is? And it's only offering you like 75 XP now. That's what it says in the update. So now you can actually shoot a launcher at the freaking thing and destroy it. Because it has so much HP.
The CG recoilless M5 will no longer automatically reload while you are downed if you died after firing it. Fixed an issue causing empty reloads on the recoilless M5 to be interrupted when vaulting. Fix for issue where users were able to detonate the C5 explosive while being hacked. Fixed an issue where both Soldier anti-tank mine and the Bolt's anti-tank mine would despawn after a short while if the player died. The repair tool now turns off when a player dies. Made it easier to place the insertion beacon. You'll now spawn in the same direction where the insertion beacons is facing when spawning on it. Fixed an
Okay, so if anyone is doing the beacon stuff and want to hit some flanks and all that, make sure you aim it the right way. Okay? Just going to point this out, right? Make sure you aim it the right way. Because that's the thing. Before, it just spawns you wherever and all that. And you know, sometimes you might get a good one where you're actually looking at enemies. But I'm telling you, man, if you go and put a beacon and you look the other way, and I have to spawn with my back towards the enemy, I'm not going to like it. So make sure you aim your beacon the right way.
Fixed an issue that would allow players to shoot FXM-33A missiles while their target was in smoke. Fixed an issue where FXM-33A missile did not become enabled again until the user switched to another weapon and back again after being affected by EMP. Fixing an issue where smoke grenades did not explode on moving cranes.
Here we go.
Weapon attachments.
Right, this is what everyone wanted, right? This is what everyone wanted, your weapon attachments. So here we go.
Weapon attachments. The behavior of many weapon attachments has been overhauled to ensure that their impact when customizing your weapons is unique and noticeable. Previously, some attachments had effects that were too similar from others, and it was unclear what the impact on your weapons would be when switching between them. Here's an example of updated behavior while customizing the AC-42. A. Warhawk Compensator. Update 3.3, improved horizontal recoil control, reduced vertical recoil control. Update 4.0, improved recoil control, reduced weapon accuracy.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Improve recoil control, reduce weapon. What? Are they trying to make the accuracy even better? No way. They're not, are they? Improve recoil control, reduce weapon accuracy? What? Improve accuracy while moving, reduce accuracy while stationed. Improve. What does it mean by improve? Like increase accuracy? I know reduce is smaller. Worst accuracy? Is that what they're trying to do? Make it worse? Because it's not improved. Look, see, this is what I'm saying. This has increase hipfire accuracy. So improve is good. That's what I'm saying. Dude. So reduced is bad? What do you mean? I thought reduced is making it smaller. Like reducing the accuracy, like making it lower. Because that's saying, because if you increase the accuracy, it makes it higher. Dude, I don't even know. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. I'm so sorry. Well, we're gonna find out when it comes out. We're gonna find out 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, troopers. We're gonna find out tomorrow. 4 in the morning. We're gonna find out.
B. Rattlesnake Light Grip. Update 3.3, improved accuracy while moving, reduced accuracy while static. Update 4.0, increased hipfire accuracy,
No one uses
reduced
it.
accuracy while adds. C. Maul Hybrid 1.5x3x. Adds speed decreased in 4.0. Zoom levels and optics toggle options persist. D. Subsonic rounds. Base recoil reduced in 4.0. Reduced muzzle flash visibility. Decreased projectile velocity. Further changes to weapon attachments. Factory and extended barrel descriptions now display the correct fire rate changes.
Finally.
Weapon modifiers are now correctly applied when swapping attachments while the bipod is equipped. Fixed an issue that would cause the 40mm grenade launcher attachment to hit an invisible wall when fired indoors.
Yep.
Fixed an issue which would grant unlimited ammo if magazine attachments were toggled in between firing the underbarrel attachment.
What? I didn't know that.
Fixed some weapons displaying wrong ammo counts for specific magazines.
I did know that. I did know that. It was linked to Angel's crate thing. I made a video on it. I've forgotten all about it. I made it like in December. I literally forgotten all about it. It was so crazy, right? Because the fact is they nerfed it, but there was a loophole around it to still do it, and you have unlimited ammo. Pretty much, but the way how I did it was using the PKP 200 rounds, and you can switch it to whatever weapon. So I could use the M5A3 and just have 200 rounds for it. It was so sick. The unlimited rounds one, I don't think I heard about that one. Thank God though, because if I did hear about it, then everyone would be using it. Same as like when it comes to the shotgun. Jack Frags made a video, everyone used it. So, you know what I mean? I haven't heard about them fixing the NTW50 sniper animation one, where you just switch scopes and you just keep shooting quicker. I haven't seen that yet.
Fixed some weapons displaying wrong ammo counts for specific magazines.
Finally.
Adding and removing attachments in the plus menu will now always correctly apply their statistic changes.
Nice.
Underbarrel activations such as flashlights and laser sights will no longer be reset after getting revived. Bipod attachments will no longer toggle on and off while reloading.
Nice.
The adds time on the BKS-8X now matches that of other scope attachments.
Did we use that?
Adjusted the size of the DD hollow scope to bring it in line with other scopes.
Did we use that?
Reduced blur on the Ghost hybrid scope.
Did we use that?
Some underbarrel attachments should no longer have a shared ammo pool.
Cool.
The Maul hybrid and the Ghost hybrid now correctly displays both scope zoom levels in the collection screen.
Never use the sight.
The Fusion Hollow attachment no longer clips through the meshes on the following weapons: AK-24, LCMG, PP-29 and the SFAR-MGL. Fixed clipping issues with the camera when the Fusion Hollow optic is equipped while adds. Weapons. The high-powered magazine for the AK-24 now shows the correct amount of bullets. Fixed an issue where players were unable to fire straight away after reloading the grenade launcher attachment on the M5A3.
Nice.
Updated text descriptions for both the NTW50 and DM7.
Cool.
Fixed an issue which caused the extended magazine for the PBX45 to have a slight delay before it fires after reload.
Oh my god, yes.
Located a missing R in the description of the PKPBP. Increased PKPBP base recoil.
Hey, I can check it out.
Fixed an issue that would cause weapon lag across scopes for the M44. The missing bullet on the M44 has been located. The M44 now displays the correct reload animation while in prone. Fixed an issue with the M44 that caused the scope to move a lot more than intended when aiming around.
Christ, that gun seems like a nightmare.
Tactical muzzle brake no longer floats when equipped onto the MP9. Increased the long-range damage on SWS-10 light ammo from 35 to 40 over 75 meters.
Sniper increase.
The iron sight will no longer be visible when the fusion hollow is equipped to the PP-29.
Alright.
Fixed an issue with the incorrect ammo pools to be set on the PP-29, which would show incorrect ammo quantities. Fixed the PP-29 medium and subsonic.
This one here, when they on about the sight of the PP-29, there was one sight and it was a dot sight, but you can also see the iron sight. I kind of digged it that way. It wasn't that bad, but you know, now they're fixing it, it should make it look a lot more cleaner because the sight was kind of in the way, but it wasn't like it was a pain in the ass or anything because it was kind of okay to see. Like, you know, I mean, it wasn't a bad sight even with the iron sight linked to it. But because of removing the iron sight with that dot sight, it should make the gun a lot more cleaner. I'll use it tomorrow.
Fixed the PP-29 medium and subsonic ammunition having inverted ammo pools. Fixed an issue which could cause underbarrels on the SFAR-MGL to unexpectedly run out of ammo. Recentered the iron sight on the DXR-1.
Cool.
AC-42 bullet damage drop-off increased.
Yes.
AC-42 effective range has been lowered.
Yes.
Reduced scope shake when firing on the DM7 and VCAR.
Never used them.
Fixed an issue where weapons would have inconsistent dispersion or recoil.
Yep.
Fixed an issue which prevented bullets from dealing the correct damage amount.
Yep.
Bolt action sniper rifles now correctly play their animation after opening the plus menu and firing.
Damn it.
Reload.
Damn it, they nerfed it. God damn it. I knew they was going to nerf the NTW50, man. So basically, as I said before, I made a video on it as well. I used it a lot because I really wanted to tier 1 that sniper, and I knew that with that bug, I could do it 10 times quicker. It was basically every time you shoot, you switch sight, and it skips the animation. It was so cool. You could use it super quick. But the thing is, as it was a one-shot sniper, it was pretty OP. But I did abuse it because I really wanted to tier 1 that sniper, so I wouldn't need to do it again. As they said anyway, pretty much using the plus menu, it would fix the animation. So NTW sniper glitch, because it really was for snipers, really. And for other guns, it wasn't really a big deal. But for the sniper, the NTW especially, it was a big deal. So that it's gone. It's gone. It's gone now. So I had my fun with it. I got some cool moments with it. But it's gone. Now it's gone. But it's fine. I knew it had to be anyway. A lot of people got mad at me for using it, but I just wanted to tier 1 it. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Reload prompt will no longer stop flashing when there are only a few bullets left in the magazine. Reloading while adds will no longer reset the camera zoom. Fixed an issue which could cause weapons to become invisible while climbing a ladder. Fixed an issue which caused some players to be unable to shoot or adds after exiting a vehicle.
Finally.
Toggle scope is now affected by soldier controller schemes. Weapons in the collection screen will no longer compare to the weapon selected in deploy screen, which caused incorrect comparisons. Improved the visual quality of the crosshairs and red dots within high-powered scopes while on low/medium graphic settings. Removed some double spacing within text descriptions of multiple weapons. Reduced scope shake when firing on the DM7 and VCAR.
Never used them.
Fixing broken arm when doing pump action while crawling with the MCS 880. Improved weapon animation when deploying from a vehicle. Added a game hint for steady scope. Weapons should no longer slide over the floor when dropped. Made improvements to the position and drop timing for dropped weapons. Underbarrel shotgun crosshair does not.
So that's going to be nice. So pretty much when you're in a gunfight, troopers, and you see a weapon on the floor or something like that, you can pick it up. Because usually it just kind of like just disappeared. That's really what it is. We got 17 amazing people. Thank you very much. Make sure to leave a like. We're just going through all the patches and flat. We're not playing games today. Short story, because now there's more people in here. I'll just go through it quick. I've just started a new medication. It's basically I move too much in my sleep and I feel quite achy. I have a lot of pains in my legs. I even limp sometimes because it hurts so bad. It feels like I ran a marathon. It's just because I keep moving in my sleep. I can't control it. I'm 25, man, so this shouldn't be happening to me, you know what I mean? So I'm on new medication. It makes me very, very tired. So I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm absolutely exhausted right now. It was supposed to last up to 6 hours. It's been like 11 hours now, and I am still very droopy right now. I'm quite drowsy. So that's why I'm not like playing video games today and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why we're just going through just the patches today, because I'm on medication, man. So I'm a bit woozy today, so that's why.
Underbarrel shotgun crosshair does not disappear after zooming.
I am okay
Melee.
though.
Animation fixes related to melee takedowns. Fixed an issue where the camera was misplaced during a takedown. Fix related to targets flying away when doing a takedown on a moving platform. Fix where melee hits didn't register consistently on moving targets. Fixed a bug where the player could throw a grenade and melee at the same time. Fixed a bug where player could get stuck in melee animation.
Oh, that was annoying.
Fixed a bug where doing a melee attack in prone could make the knife stuck until another melee was initiated. Fixed an issue which would cause guns to instead play a knife animation. Vehicles. As outlined in our recent core feedback, we are adjusting the number of active vehicles across maps and modes, and you'll notice the first iteration of this change within this update. As an example of how that plays out on Breakthrough 64 for Kaleidoscope, here is how we adjusted total available vehicles in the match, per sector. Sector 1 to 17-13. Sector 2 to 18-17. Sector 3 to 19-17. Health for soldier and vehicle now show correct values for all seats in the vehicle. The radar will now appear correctly while redeploying on a team/squad mate in the Me-240 Super Hind or MV-38 Condor. Killing someone with a tuk-tuk would sometimes show the wrong vehicle icon the kill card. Destroying either the tuk-tuk or Polaris Sportsman in a tunnel will no longer cause floating debris to be present. Players can now ping while driving vehicles in third-person view.
Nice.
Fixed an issue that would cause reversing in a tank to be problematic.
Yes, that was annoying.
Fixed an issue that would allow players...
So basically, there'd be times where the camera view, I will be reversing, and I'll look backwards, and I'm still, like, basically, I'm reversing and everything, and I'm going backwards like this, but by the time I turn around, I'm looking at it, like, forward. That makes sense. But the thing is, then it goes and detects it and goes, oh, you're reversing, so it changes it because of the camera view, so then it goes and pushes it forward. It was so annoying to control the tank properly. It really was. It was not fun. First person was probably the best to control the tank, and then third person. So the fact is they're fixing that. W.
Fixed an issue that would allow players to skip the equipment cooldown timer while in a helicopter. Players will no longer find themselves in a floating state while exiting a fighter jet upside down. Fixed an issue which would cause vehicles to not be deployed when called in, but still shown as in play. Fixed an issue that would allow players to shoot at missiles while their target was in smoke. Adjusted text on the vehicle zoom options in order to make it clearer what the option does. Tornadoes should no longer throw a helicopter under the world, resulting in passengers ending up underwater. Fixed an issue that would sometimes affect the visibility of flares. Exiting and re-entering a tank will no longer result in a misaligned camera.
Nice.
Fixed an issue that could allow helicopters to fly under the game world on hourglass. Fixed an issue that would cause the AA missile launch to skip the yellow lock-on phase, jumping straight to red. Fixed an issue that could sometimes cause helicopters to spawn on the ground. Fixed an issue that would sometimes cause players to fall through the world when deploying into a tank.
Oh, when that annoying.
Fixed an issue that would allow players to manually reload weapons on certain vehicles. Air radar should now correctly display enemies. System repair would sometimes only replenish a few health points. This has been corrected. It was possible for players to hurt themselves with some explosive vehicle weapons during the vehicle enter animations. This has been disabled.
Good.
It's no longer possible to shoot yourself for a short period of time when entering a vehicle.
That sucks.
Vehicle hints will now show up on initial deployment. Vehicle invert look settings are no longer connected to flight controls. Fixed an issue that would allow players to instant lock onto a vehicle after flares have been used. Lights on air vehicles are now turned on when a player is in the cockpit. Fixed an issue which would occasionally...
I just want to point out, by the way, thank you to everyone coming to the stream and supporting it and all that. I really did not expect it to be this long. I thought it was going to be about an hour, if that. I have no clue how long we've been streaming for. Okay, just over an hour. All right, okay. This is a really long patch. I'm sorry if you guys are getting a bit bored. It'll be done soon.
Fixed an issue which would occasionally see the A64GX Apache Warkif or Ka-520 Super Hokum smart rockets ignore their target. A specific concrete block was causing the T-28 to become stuck. The T-28 has overcome its fear and can now traverse over it. Invert vertical look is now working as expected on transport vehicles. Vehicle third-person camera no longer clips through the environment. The hints for controls option now displays for all intended vehicles. Fixed an issue that would cause the bridge to clip while in third-person view in a T-28 on hourglass. Backpacks can no longer be seen sticking out of the side of the B-17 bomber. Taking a tuk-tuk into an elevator will now display the correct health. Made tweaks to various VFX while in a helicopter and firing countermeasures to reduce photosensitivity risks. Vehicles spawned through deploy screen will now be eventually abandoned if they are left. Fixed an issue which would cause animation issues when going from vehicle to down state. Helicopter lights are no longer offset from their initial position while in the matchmaking countdown screen. Deploy animation will now only play once after the player has switched seats multiple times in a row within vehicles. Tanks should no longer get stuck in the mud while in a storm on orbital. Weathering effects are now applied more consistently to vehicles. The soldier's physics representation now better matches the actual animation pose when in a tuk-tuk or a portal RHIB. Added a free look third-person view crosshair to vehicles. Vehicle HUD while in first-person view now turns red when in a critical health state.
Oh.
Vehicles now show both soldier and vehicle health for all seats occupied by the player.
Good.
Updated the transport look behind option to reset camera view. Tweaked camera pitch while in first-person view within a helicopter to better reflect the direction of travel and increase visibility.
Oh.
Fixed spawning of vehicles in elevators. Vehicles should no longer incorrectly be slowed down when driving over certain platforms like bridges. A64GX Apache Warkif. The wing camera when firing rockets on the A64GX Apache Warkif is now more accurately aligned. The HUD will now be more visible when performing a nosedive in the A64GX Apache Warkif. EBAA Wildcat. Fixed text description on the EBAA Wildcat to more accurately reflects its weaponry. Fixed text description on the EBAA Wildcat and T-28 smoke launcher. The EBAA Wildcat can now climb hills with a bit more ease. Increase the handbrake strength on the EBAA Wildcat. While on orbital the EBAA Wildcat used to have trouble driving over low to average height rocks. This no longer occurs. F-35E Panther. The F-35E Panther will now take the intended damage when hitting specific buildings on hourglass. Increased ejection force when at low speeds in the F-35E Panther. Added an ejector seat for the F-35E Panther when in hover mode. Afterburner VFX is no longer visible through the engine swivel nozzle in a F-35E Panther. Ka-520 Super Hokum. Made tweaks to the Ka-520 Super Hokum to better align its bullets to the crosshair. The Ka-520 Super Hokum now correctly displays equipped attachments on its 3D model. LATV-4 Recon. While entering a LATV-4 Recon after sprinting, players will now find themselves in the correct seat. Fixed an issue that would cause the LATV-4 to sometimes fall through the floor on hourglass. Better positioned the hitbox of the gunner's head and shoulders when in a LATV-4 Recon. Player is no longer pushed out of bounds if revived under the LATV4. The LATV4 recon will no longer get stuck on a problematic rock on discarded.
Here's hovercraft.
LCAA hovercraft. Fixed an issue that would cause the LCAA hovercraft to become stuck on the environment on breakaway. LCAA hovercraft collision around point G1 on kaleidoscope has been fixed. The LCAA hovercraft can no longer fly after hitting a ramp at high speeds. Tweak the boost on the LCAA hovercraft to avoid it going up vertical walls. Swimming close to a LCAA hovercraft that is...
They nerfed it, man. Oh, that sucks. They nerfed the hovercraft going up walls. Sucks.
Swimming close to a LCAA hovercraft that is on water will no longer result in death. M5C Bolt. Players are now able to shoot passengers within a M5C Bolt more easily.
Thank God.
Fixed an issue that would cause the MC5 Bolt to fall through the world on orbital after clipping tree trunks.
It was probably for the best.
Fixed an issue that would cause the camera to break when revived from under a LATV4 recon. Fixed an issue that would prevent the MC5 Bolt from being visible after a call-in is requested. Fixed issue where the animation of the M5C Bolt's main gun could become stuck in the firing animation. MC5 Bolt missile launcher has been adjusted, and now also damaged tanks.
Oh.
Time to live 10-3.2. Engine strength 175-70.
Nice. Damage down.
Damage 70-45.
Where you, Bob?
MAV. Fixed an issue that caused the 40mm volley pod crosshair to not show up in the MAV. Improved text descriptions on the MAV. MD540 Nightbird. Switching seats in the MD540 Nightbird would sometimes alter the FOV. It should no longer do this. It's now possible to shoot the pilot of an MD540 Nightbird through the upper part of the cockpit's glass. MV38 Condor. The MV38 Condor should no longer spin out of control when it gets destroyed. Fixed text description on the MV38 Condor to more accurately reflects its weaponry. Fixed an issue where the camera positioning could sometimes become stuck after exiting a MV38 Condor. 50mm cannon pod has been tweaked against other vehicles. RWS 50mm mounted on air vehicles. Start and end damage 60-65. Impact impulse 8000-3000. This change means it should now destroy the MD540 Nightbird in 2, instead of 3 shots. RWS 50mm mounted on land vehicles. Impact impulse 4000-2500. Start damage 85-92. End damage 60-65. Damage fall off distance start 180-200. Replenish rate 2.3-2.1. Polaris Sportsman. Players should no longer fall through the game world while driving the Polaris Sportsman on renewal.
That sucks.
Made adjustments to the camera setup while driving the Polaris Sportsman, ensuring players retain visibility at all times. Players can no longer get stuck in cargo containers while driving the Polaris Sportsman on breakaway in hazard zone. T28/M1A5. Heat shell. Impact damage increased by 90-115. Replenish time per shell increased from 6.8 seconds.
That's it? That's it? Wow. That's it. So, far as I gathered, troopers, far as I gathered, this is really more of a... This right here is more of a bug fix patch. That's what it really is. It's more of a bug fix patch more than a gameplay fix patch. I want both. I want both. Cool, you're fixing these bugs. That's a lot of bugs, man. A lot of bugs. Dude, it was like almost an hour and a half just reading through them bugs. Doesn't seem like 400. It feels like it, considering how long it was to read all that. Because as I was saying, like, I wasn't pausing it that much. Yeah, it's definitely more of a bug fix patch than a weapon patch. And well, I mean like a gameplay patch. So certain stuff did get tweaked, like the vehicles got nerfed, bolt got nerfed, weapon attachments are being improved and everything like that. That seems like most of the gameplay improvements, but majority of it is bugs. One of the things I'm really excited about though is the HUD option. I am so excited for that, man. Battlefield 1 had a great HUD option. It really did, where you can customize it, you can minimize it. It means I can make the kill log smaller, hopefully. I can adjust the chat to remove the chat on console, because on console we couldn't remove chat. And besides, as it's not all chat, I don't really have any interest reading chat. Really, unless someone says hi to me, they're like, hey Neon, or something, and I'm like, oh my god, how do I say hello back in chat? This is a nightmare in console. But the HUD option is a big dub. Weapon attachments gonna be cool. Bolt getting nerfed. Seems like the Nightbirds is gonna get tweaked. FOV get sorted. Some things I'm very disappointed about is once again, aim assist hasn't been improved. And by far, some of the biggest things is game crashing on old gen and new gen, and of course on PC. But the number one issue, what is still not addressed, still not fixed, is the input. I am absolutely amazed that there is no keyboard and mouse input issue fixed, or controller. That is by far one of the biggest issues. So huge. I can see it. I can almost feel it on keyboard and mouse, and I don't even play on it, you know. And I see people on keyboard and mouse, and I can see, and I can, you know, I mean, the issue they go through, and I'm just like, damn. And on controller, it's just as bad. It's just as bad. It probably is worse on keyboard and mouse, I'm assuming so, but I can really feel it when it comes to controller as well. And that should not happen whatsoever. And the fact is, sorry, I had my mouth. The fact is not fixed. I'm mind blown. Do you honestly want to know my real opinion though? This fix here, 400 fixes, all them fixes in the game, too little, too late. That's my honest opinion. There's no point going any more further than that. Too little, too late. This should have been done a very long time ago. This should have been done in December. It seemed like when the devs took to Christmas holiday break, it seems like they took a Christmas holiday break all the way through April. I swear. Because as soon as because they worked on the game, they worked on it. They even done live service updates as well, so they tweaked stuff. You remember when Dozer, his shield was bugged and it was stopping like tanks and shells? They removed it instant, and they even had like this little icon message on the side. They was doing stuff like that, and as soon as the devs went on to Christmas holiday, everything was ghost. It was all super quiet all the way through April, basically. Well, March, really. And I'm just like, who takes like 3 to 4 months on a Christmas holiday break? Clearly DICE does. They must really deserve that holiday break, especially after the hard work they put into Battlefield 5. Because remember guys, Battlefield 5 is the best game in the world, right? The best game in the world. Oh god, don't I just love Battlefield 5? God, oh my god, yeah, man, I'm getting goosebumps thinking, oh, I'm getting so much crave. I just want to play it. God, you know, like, You know, sometimes I think to myself, like, oh, I really should go to bed. It's really late. It's 2 in the morning. But, you know, I'm going to play Battlefield 5 for the whole night because I know it's by far the best Battlefield ever out there. It's such a great FPS. Like, it really is. Like, you know, people tell me, they're like, play Battlefield 5, play Battlefield 5. And I'm like, sure, I'll play COD Mobile. Speaking of COD Mobile, I've been playing that a lot. Really a lot. Jesus, hurry up in your rank. So we can start playing some of that. Anyway. Let me say hello to you guys before I leave. I'm not playing today, by the way. I'm not playing. As I said, I'm on medication, man. I'm very, very tired. So swipe one more like, by the way, for 20. We get it. Let me say hello to people. We got Baby Jesus. We got Shake and Bacon. How you doing, boo? We got Trevor in here. Cato! Trivergent. What up, Trooper? How you doing, buddy? Peter, how you doing? Thank you for the like. Is that Tyler? Tyler? I can't read it. John, how you doing? Where do you live? In Europe isn't a problem. What? So where do you live? In Europe, it isn't a problem. Oh, just talking about servers. Okay. Oh, a couple of new little faces. That's cool to see. Cool to see some new faces in the stream. Seems like Trevor's just been putting L's majority of the time. No fix for hit reg, aim assist, controller, or mouse input. Yep. That is huge. That is huge. That should be there. It isn't there. Sucks. This will be saved as a video. So if you guys want to make sure to go through it again, or if you missed some of it, it's going to stay up on the channel. Some of this stuff I want to kind of dip into streaming. As some of you guys know, I'm doing a very big change behind the scenes. I'm working my freaking ass off. I'm working my absolute ass off right now for this whole content change. I don't think you guys understand how hard I'm working right now, but I'm working very, very hard. So please, pat me on the back, support me, because I'm working very hard right now. And of course, certain stuff like this, instead of making a video about the patches, I thought I would stream it with you guys, and then it will be produced as a video after. See, win-win chicken dinner. You know? I will be going to bed early because I am very tired, and to get the most sleep I possibly can, because I'm going to be up at 4 in the morning for the update. So make sure you guys are here. Not 4 in the morning though, unless you're that type of person. If you're in Europe, like England, Germany, or whatever, and all that, you guys are cool, right? You could be there watching the stream. The US peeps, if you're waking up at that time, you're crazy, because I'm in the States as well, and you got to be waking up at 4 in the morning to play 2042. Honestly, that's pretty bad, isn't it? You know, I went to my wife today and said, oh, honey, I got to be up at 4 in the morning. She's like, why? I got to play Battlefield. And she's like, oh, poor you. And I'm just like, yeah, poor me. She just being sarcastic, but like, man, I don't want to wake up at that time playing 2042, you know? But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you for the mad support. By the way, we had like 17 people in here. That was pretty dope. So thank you. Stream's pretty dope, so thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, as I said, troopers, I'm on new medication, so I really can't play that much. I'm pretty drowsy still. I'm very, very tired. It was my first medication I took, so I took a whole one. I really should have took a half, and so it kind of kicked me a little bit. I was out, so out. And the medication is just supposed to help your body and everything like that, so I don't move too much in my sleep. So yeah, it works. It works. To tell that short, it works even after as well. So I'm kind of recovering after this medication and everything. So yeah. But anyway, thank you very much everyone come to the stream. I appreciate it. As I said, this is going to stay live, you know, as a video. So if you guys did miss any of it, make sure to go through it. everything like that. If you are watching as a video, comment and tell me what you think about all this. And if you did watch it as a whole video, you're a true champ. So if you got to this stage, I salute you, man. So thank you very much. Of course, leave a like on the channel, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Help me get to 10k. We're getting there, man. We are getting there, troopers. We are getting there. The new change of content is slowly progressing and slowly doing quite well. And it's 2042, so I can't see a huge improvement of content, but the new change of content I am doing, I am so happy with. I'm working my absolute ass off. The thumbnails are changing just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Content is slowly changing as well. Basically, I am kind of going away from my old school content route where, unfortunately, montages is going to be kind of a rest in peace. I think this is the time where I'm going to say goodbye to montages for a very long time, unless special occasions. Montages don't do too well on YouTube, and my 8K montage was pretty disappointing in ratings considering how freaking amazing it was. Holy crap, that was by far the best montage I've ever seen. I don't want to be biased or anything. I know it was my montage, but come on, man, it was freaking awesome. All right, I had like a heli snipe 350 meters away, the grappling hook, like 7-second AA clip, the nay launcher wingsuit, freaking badass. Okay, it was absolutely amazing, but it didn't do well. And highlights itself is going to be kind of changed. Highlights are going to be kind of more background. It seems like people are liking the news type of related and stuff like that. So I think that's what I'm going to kind of stick with. It seems like that's the more of the modern thing right now, because the 2042 kind of sucks. People don't care too much about the gameplay, so I'm holding off on gameplay stuff right now until the game improves. So it's more of like kind of the news related stuff. So yeah, but anyway, gonna leave you guys be. Thank you for the support. I do appreciate it. Look after yourselves, troopers. All right, and I will see you guys tomorrow. If I don't see you in the stream tomorrow, because if it is super early for you or super late or whatever time it is for you in the world, I might do a second stream that day because of the update. It all really depends, because I'm still got to do a lot of content after as well. If I don't, then I'll see you guys Wednesday. Okay, but yeah, make sure to look after yourself, troopers. Stay safe out there. All right, if you guys need me, hit me up on Discord. If you're not in Discord, what you doing? You better join up. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you very much for watching the stream. Make sure to leave a like on the stream, support it, and I'll see you, troopers, later.